Hi everyone, Pete and Grada here from the Purple House Wellness Center in Forth, Tasmania. Today's live Facebook Live, we want to share with you 5 tips to get you off the Christmas roller coaster binge. And we're also going to give you some recipes that you can use that are healthy and nutritious, that you can swap out some of the unhealthy Christmas recipes that your body is going to be bombarded with, probably.
When I was growing up, often Christmas Day, we'd end up nearly under the table moaning because I was so full. And I am reminded of a time when I was over in Holland. Initially, when I first went across there, spent New Year's Eve, where the Dutch celebrate New Year's Eve with they do deep fried
Olieballen.
Oil balls.
If anyone is Dutch, you know what they like.
They eat those till the cows come home, and when 12 o'clock happens, the sky is lit up with fireworks because everyone has fireworks. Anyway, this year, one of Grada's brothers, he'd eaten too many Olieballen, and he spent 12 o'clock midnight leaning over a toilet, being sick, and it was just, poor bloke. I feel sorry for him, but it was self-inflicted, and we often do that at Christmas time. We inflict ourselves with too many high-starch carbohydrates, and they just clog us up and fill us up, and we moan and groan.
The body goes into shock.
Yeah, yeah. So there's some good ways to really enjoy, not experiencing that real full
binge that you've binged out.
Binge eating. And believe it or not, it's having a good fat Christmas, a lot of fat at Christmas. Because fats turn off the hunger button, so we don't binge. We just don't feel like eating. We don't get cravings. And there are 5, we're going to share 5 ways that you can feel fully energized and feel full and
get you through the Christmas period safely without too much damage.
Satisfied, because when we eat a lot of fats, out of 1 molecule of fat, we get 10 times the amount of energy from a molecule of sugar. And all carbohydrates, they turn to sugar. So quite often, lots of the food are carbohydrates in the Western world. And we've become reliant on sugars for energy. Whereas if we don't need anywhere near as much fat to get the same amount of energy. So Grada and I eat far less food than what we used to because we eat a lot of fat.
And so can you just specify what are good fats? Because the people who are new, who are just listening to us for the first time, may not know what healthy fats consist of.
Quite often the healthy fats have been vilified over the last 50 or 60 years. So butter, cream, coconut oil and meat fats are classified as saturated fats, and they are good fats, really good fats. And then the good running oils are your monounsaturated oils, which include olive, macadamia nut, sesame seed, peanut oil, and some avocado oil, but avocados do have some polys in. But avoid all the polyunsaturated seed-based oils because they do a lot of damage inside us.
They cause a lot of inflammation and heart attacks and so on. So that's point 1. What Peter already said, we get 10 times the amount of energy out of 1 molecule of fat compared to 1 molecule of sugar. So you need 10 molecules of sugar to get the same energy. Plus, when you burn fat for energy, it's a very, very clean fuel. So you can compare it if you're driving behind the car and the car is going up the hill, and sometimes back in the old days you used to see old cars bellowing out a lot of black smoke. That means that car is, something is going wrong with the motor and the fuel. That's what, when you eat sugar and carbohydrates, that's what happens inside of our cells. It creates a lot of toxins and inflammation in our body. So after Christmas, during and after Christmas, a lot more people are diagnosed with leukemia as well. And Pete and I, we believe that's just a symptom of your immune system that's been whipped into a frenzy from all the carbohydrates that people eat.
All the sugars.
And it creates an inflammatory reaction in the body. So your immune system goes crazy. It releases a lot of white cells, right, to combat the inflammation. And the body literally runs out of mature white cells, so it starts to release immature white cells. And that looks like leukemia. So then if people end up in hospital feeling sick and they're feeling crook, they're not feeling right, and they do blood tests, and sometimes they get diagnosed with leukemia when it's actually just a Christmas glitch, right? So this is how bad Christmas can turn out to be for people, for many people. Just be aware that all those foods whip up your immune system into a frenzy. So you might be having fun and your body is suffering. So that's why we said point 1. I'm just got my pages all over the place. Point 2, what's point 2?
Well,
healthy fat, switch off the hunger button. Peter already said that. Because like literally you can't, after you eat say a couple of tablespoons of fats, you don't feel hungry anymore, do you?
When we had Alchemy Cafe, we used to do a lot of raw foods, and which included a lot of coconut oil, and there were big slices that there for the customers, and I literally couldn't get through one because I just felt so full.
Yeah.
And it's the coconut oil, it just fills you up and turns. We feel hungry when we lack energy, and if we are full of good fats, we'll have plenty of energy and we won't feel hungry.
And coconut oil is really good for your brain as well. Like, it helps to restore your brain, it's calming to the nervous system, and many good things. I've listed them here. So then, so fats give you nice, healthy energy throughout the day, whereas carbohydrates, they do this spiking thing. And we used to experience that ourselves many years ago. We used to have, say, porridge for breakfast or toast and honey for breakfast. And a piece of toast contains 6 tablespoons of sugar. That's the reality of it.
What our body can make.
That's right. So then so it gives this drastic spike of energy, and then by morning tea you start to flatten out a bit, and you need to top up on a biscuit, and then at lunchtime your energy is in your boots, so you need something carbohydrate again.
It's a real yo-yo energy.
Which is actually very damaging to your body. Like your body has to constantly go through all the motion of these big waves on the sea, so to speak, whereas if you eat more fat, you feel real stable and peaceful in your mood, you don't get triggered, it's just a really good feeling.
Quite, and then number 4, it promotes weight loss. Quite a few people think, oh, if I have too many fats, I'll get fat, but you don't get fat on fats, you get slim on fats. When I first went having a lot of more fat in my diet and cutting out high starch carbohydrates, I didn't think I had weight to lose, but I lost 8 kilograms over 6 months, and it was, I was eating probably about 6 blocks of butter a week at that point in time, and lots of cream, butter and cream. We actually, number 5 goes into the benefits of butter and cream, the fat of dairy. And apparently there's a whopping 69% lower risk of death from heart attack for those people who consume a lot of butter and cream.
Compared to low-fat products, low-fat dairy, like skim milk and so on. Actually, when we had Alchemy, we refused to serve skim milk in coffee, so sometimes that would upset people, they would walk out again. But skim milk is just so toxic to your body, and we know how toxic it is, so I didn't really want to serve that, by the way. So we're talking about grass-fed cows, cows that eat pasture green grass, and then we're talking about that butter and
cream from those animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the French, this study proved that the French eat full-fat dairy, real butter and cheese, and they have less incidence of obesity and chronic disease. And then the Swiss are the same. They eat tons of full-fat dairy and cheese, and they also live way longer and stay a lot healthier. And then, of course, there are like all the mountain people in the mountains in East Europe who live to well into their hundreds. They consume a lot of full-fat dairy, and then
they ferment their milk as well.
That's right. So fermented food is good. And then there are different tribes in Africa who eat very high-fat diet, and they are very tall, slender, flexible, and fit, with very, very little incidence of our type of diseases. So anyway, cut a long story short, we are helping you to make wise choices at Christmas so you don't get diagnosed potentially with some sort of horrible disease. The foods that we recommend, they heal your body. So even if you're new, lots of people are still new to keto or what we call low carb or high fat. Even though it's been really popular now for a number of years, there's still lots of people who are not well informed around it, who are still going down the path of skinny this and that and low fat everything. So we want you to turn the steering wheel around, and I've included like some yummy recipes that's like chocolate pudding. That's a healthy version. You can read it. Yeah. It's in articles. Anything else you want to say?
Quite often, when people do start on increased fats, they have trouble digesting them. And the reason being is we need a good flow of bile from the liver to digest our fats properly. And that's one of the first places where we store fat from too many sugars that we've been on all our life beforehand with high starch carbohydrates and sugars. We've stored a lot of stored fat within the liver, and it has a real job getting rid of the waste out of the body, which is the bile, and that bile is needed to digest the fat. So we recommend people have beet flow to get that bile flow going. It's got nitric acid and taurine that dilate the little tubes in the liver so the bile can flow properly, so you digest your fats properly. If people have lost their gallbladder, I recommend they have extra bile salts in the form of ox bile salts with every meal.
And we stopped it here.
To help digest their fats properly. And then an enzyme with the enzyme lipase in. Lipase is the enzyme to help break down fats. Those two things will get your digestion cranked up properly, and you'll digest your fats and you'll feel that nice even energy all day long. And yeah, you won't feel like eating much.
And that will give you round-the-clock support, right? So that will help your digestion day and night, because actually your body keeps on digesting the foods that you eat during the night as well when you're resting. And just as an interesting aside, when your tummy is rumbling, that doesn't per se mean that you're hungry. And that's another misconception. That actually means that your immune system or your tummy is cleaning itself out, like it's doing a nice big spring clean. That's what it means when your tummy is rumbling. But we think, oh, I'm hungry, so then you immediately fill it up again, and then your body has to stop cleaning. It's like when you've just cleaned your house, and suddenly there's a whole classroom of kids run through your house, and then you have to start all over again. So Peter is talking about beet flow and omnizyme, and we've also created a package that includes beet flow, omnizyme, and immunosymbiotic restore, which is a really high-end, I guess you call it, probiotic to keep your immune system healthy. Because there's a lot of rubbish on the market when it comes to buying good bacteria. And also just store-bought yogurt doesn't really cut it either. It hasn't got the right variety of bacteria for your microbiome in your tummy. And it includes iodine. So iodine is really good because it mops up toxins and free radicals.
Needed by the thyroid, and that gives our metabolism a boost.
And that's called the Ultimate Vitality Package. And I'll put a link in here. You can, that would be a good thing to have during the Christmas season, just to keep all 4 wheels on the road. And I've actually added why you need it, but anyway, that's a long list. You can read it yourself. It's quite a list actually, but it just helps you to feel good in yourself, boost your digestion, because literally after you turn 40, you are like a car that's run out of warranty, because our body reaches peak performance at age 28. Believe it or not, that's very young, isn't it? And then after 40, our own enzyme production drops off dramatically, so now you literally are like a used car that's run out of warranty. And you can do things though to give your car a fresh warranty, right? So the Ultimate Vitality Package is one of those. So the beet flow helps your liver and your gallbladder and your stomach to function better. Even helps your kidneys and your heart as well. The enzymes are what's needed because your body doesn't produce as many anymore. And then the good bacteria and the iodine give you round the clock support as well. So
one reason why we need extra bacteria, good bacteria this time of year, is because we often are celebrating with an alcoholic drink or a wine, and wines all contain sulfites that kill off our good gut bacteria. So it's essential to be replacing our good gut bacteria if we have a few wines during the Christmas New Year period.
For sure. And then also eating fermented foods is another really good thing. Fermented vegetables, like from the Love Your Gut company. So they made in Tasmania, so they made from organic produce. And they will restore your gut bacteria as well. So we always make sure we have like 1 or 2 tablespoons a day, and I think that really keeps the doctor away.
They contain the fibre, which is the prebiotic as well.
As well as lots of enzymes. Anyway, hope you find this helpful.
And hopefully you'll have a safe and enjoyable and happy Christmas New Year period.
Because you deserve it. So I hope that you have a really enjoyable, wonderful holiday. We're going to still send out emails during the Christmas period as well. So, and
we're back open on the 3rd of January, so Tuesday the 3rd. That's
right. We have a week off in the middle, but our online shop remains open. If you put an order in, it will be posted pretty much the same day. So anyway, thank you for tuning in and for being our clients, being in our community. And if you have any questions at all, do send us a message or an email or talk to our friendly team. Okay, thanks again for being with us today, and stay safe, everyone.
And we'll see you again on the 3rd of January, 2023. Okay.
Bye-bye.